The developments around the coronavirus has escalated tremendously in the last few days. The world we woke up to last week is not the world we woke up to this morning.
Absolutely. There are so many stories about the coronavirus on the internet. There was a document that was released by the German government, and then the second half of the document deals with risk analysis and protecting the population against a pandemic by a virus such as Modi SARS. And I have the document before me, and I find it fascinating because it is like a blueprint of what we are seeing in the world today. The scenario is that they have here is a hypothetical Modi SARS virus. And then they say, for example, SARS coronavirus COVID. So the document gives a analysis of how this thing will pan out. And it says, what is the probability of this thing happening? And they say, highly probable. So this is going to happen.
Yes.
So it's a blueprint for how to react when it does happen. They have a table right in the beginning where they look at the ramifications and the damage that will be caused by such. So the impact, they say, on humanity is going to be very high, with millions, 7.5 million probable deaths, injured or people that are sick in the same number, in the same category, and those that need help, again, maximum. So we're talking in the millions. And then a very interesting category, those that went missing.
Yeah.
And that is a relatively high number. So if we consider that the maximum here is 7.5 million, then the number of missing people here could be between a third and half of that.
Yes.
So that's quite a number of people just gone missing. Yes. And then the next one is a very interesting category with maximum damage, and that is the economy, the people's economy.
Yes.
In other words, the man on the street. Not necessarily the big companies, but the general economy. It seems to have a major impact. And then also impact on the public order will be very high. That means you can expect disobedience, civil disobedience, you can expect riots, you can expect all of these things. And the political ramifications will be massive. And the psychological ramifications will be massive. But now, what fascinates me about this document is the detail. It's well over 80 pages, and this is probably 2/3 of the document dealing with this. I'm not going to deal with the whole document, just highlight a few points. Number one, this pandemic will be worldwide. They're talking about the incubation time of the virus and how long it will take before you develop symptoms. That would be 5 days, and then 14 days before it manifests itself strongly. And what it does, it attacks the respiratory system, and you can become dizzy and you can get cramps and the letality. And now letality is an interesting term. It's those that will die as a consequence of the infection. In other words, not of the whole population, but of those that infected will be high. So what does that really mean? And then where will it appear? That's interesting. They say it will appear or be manifested particularly in Asia, North America, and Europe.
Yes.
Now, that's interesting. Why not in the rest? Well, one of the reasons why they could actually say that probably is because of the next data, which they will say. So initially, it'll only be 10 cases in Germany, and then it will spread out until virtually 70% of the population, as Angela Merkel said, would get this. Now, when will this happen exactly? And they say this will occur in February in Asia. Now, isn't it interesting that this virus broke out in Asia in February? Now, this is 8 years ago that they're saying that it'll probably come from Asia, and then a couple of weeks later, its dimensions will be realized, and then in April, it will be identified as Modi SARS, or coronavirus, and then it will come to Europe and the United States. So how long will this development continue? And we can have new cases appearing all the time, but it seems as if the duration will probably be 3 years. So the next question is, what measures will be put in place to curtail the virus? Well, one of the first one, of course, is quarantine.
Yes.
And particularly self-quarantine. Now, it's interesting that as we go through this, you'll see this is exactly how it was handled. So this is the blueprint, and as far as I can see, we are following the blueprint to a T at the moment. And then there will be there will be a reduction in your basic rights. Now here's a list that is fascinating. And the right to your privacy in your home will also be curtailed. In other words, even within your home sphere, the arm of the law will be noticeable. And the freedom, your basic human freedom, will be curtailed.
Yes.
Furthermore, by government decree, people can be compelled to be subjected to inoculation, for example, or other measures which they might prescribe. Life will change completely. Also very interesting is nutrition. Now, the production of food will continue, but it will be majorly impacted because the people will be sick, the farmers will be sick, some of them will be dying, so there will be a massive reduction, including the massive reduction of food coming into the area. So it seems as though a simplified lifestyle is on the cards.
Yes.
And life as usual with luxury and all of those things will be a thing of the past. And I have a sneaking feeling that this is either a preparation or it is the real thing when it comes to what we have been waiting for a very long time. The final events on this planet. This is the time not to be silent. This is the time to speak. By every possible means, we have to warn the world